But we'll head into the NFL talk. So we had conference championship week this past week, four
Mhm.
games, big games. We'll start with Bills versus Broncos. Bills losing 30 to 33 in overtime. The one prop bet I think we both hit on this over 46.5 because I think we both picked the Bills to win.
Mhm.
So we missed on that, but we hit the over. Overall, my take for this game, great, great game. Sucks for Josh Allen. Shows that Josh Allen needs more support on that team.
Mhm.
Um, he can't do it himself. Like I say, the team wise dynamic, there needs to be improvement. Wide receivers need to be improved. Um, like I say, James Cook got his groove back. I think he had over 100 yards. So good for
Mhm.
him. Bronco wise, they stayed in it. Their defense helped them out. Um, Big news with that. Bo Nix, ankle injury, getting surgery, out for the rest of the season and out for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah. Big game. Lots of controversy with the late game interception. Um, big argument. Tie goes to the receiver. Clearly, tie goes to the Broncos in this case. Um, you know, I don't know. Regarding that, Burrow came out, Joe Burrow. I'll lean on his side versus, an average fan. He said the refs got that call correct. So I'll agree with Burrow on that one.
Okay.
If a player comes out and says that, because I truly believe players, if they didn't agree with it, they would let people know.
Hmm.
Um, uh, I can see the argument though,
Hmm.
especially in playoff football. Josh Allen, they interviewed teammates. There's a lot of tears. Josh Allen taking the blame. Uh, he had a lot of costly turnovers.
Yeah.
It was sloppy. Three fumbles, two lost, one recovered to go along with the two picks.
Hmm.
Denver Broncos defense is very good, but you nailed it. He needs more support. And a lot of this is, left up to the GM not providing any of that.
Hmm.
Um, late game out of Brandon Cooks and trying to get a lot out of him is kind of a
Hmm.
crazy task, especially at this point in his career. James Cook looked great. But yeah, give him the help he needs.
Yeah.
Maybe, with the firing of McDermott, get a good head coach in there. Not saying McDermott wasn't, he just couldn't get the job done.
Hmm.
And this was the year to do it. But, on the other side of the ball, Nick's with his ankle injury having the second to last play. It was very odd. Eh, I don't know. Is Stidham going to do much for you? I don't know.
Yeah.
It would have to, you're going to rely on the defense to carry
Hmm.
you. I just don't think it's going to happen, but we'll
Yeah.
get into it. But
Yeah.
congrats to the Broncos.
Yeah. No, congrats to the Broncos. I don't know if you heard the rumors. There was some chatter. I don't think it's accurate, but something I was hearing is he tweaked it during that play, but he heard it in the locker room celebrating. And that's a rumor that was out there. I
Oh,
I don't think so, but because Sean Payton announced it so quickly, but who knows, if you have a tweaked ankle, you go into the locker room celebrating and you jump and you land on it wrong. Yeah, that could hurt and you could really damage it. So, well, who knows if it's right or wrong, but that was a little rumor I heard. Like I said, can't confirm or deny it, but just something I heard on in the Twitter. I think this was on Twitter I saw. So interesting about that. But you know, the one thing I liked about Josh Allen, big leader. Taking the blame, even though I don't think the blame fully falls on him. I think it's a team game. I think the team also could have done a little bit better defensively, offensively to support him. Yeah, he had a lot of costly mistakes, and quarterbacks always have to take the blame. So Tua learned something from how Josh Allen sort of takes a loss in a big game.
absolutely. Yeah, Josh Allen's the definition of accountability. He's a
Yeah.
leader. He's paid as such. Um, he's a
Mm,
really, really, really good role model for the game. And if
yeah.
you know, my son ever asked me, or daughter, asked me, hey, who should I follow as far as that goes? Josh Allen would be right up there with everybody else.
Yeah,
He's incredible. He'll be back at it, but
yeah,
just yeah, give him the support he needs.
yeah. Next game. Uh,
We can skip it.
you want to skip it?
No,
um,
we'll talk about it. Got to face
four,
the music.
49ers Seahawks. 49ers losing 6-41. The spread of I think was minus 7.5. We lost those,
Mm.
both of those. Um, and then I think the only thing I hit was the over. I did think it was going to go over. I think it was at 43 or four. It was at 42.
46 and a half, right?
Okay.
Or is it
Yeah,
more?
it could have been. Yeah. But yeah, hit 47. So, I hit the over. So if I would have been betting that, I would have won that, but lost the spread. I'll let you start with your take, Tim, because it is your team.
Um, I decimating. This loss was horrendous. A big part of me is not surprised, to be honest. We're so drastically injured. Uh, we talked about the conspiracy with the electric plant
Mm-hmm.
nearby. I guess that's heightened a lot since we talked about it, and
Hmm.
there's players contacting agents now to
About it.
investigate
Hmm.
it. You got to relocate it. I actually talked with my dad about it too, and he's not much of one to be a part of conspiracies, but even he was like, "Yeah, it's the electric plant," and I was like, "Yeah, like we talked about it on the podcast that you don't even buy a house near one because of possibilities of stuff."
Hmm.
And he's like, "Yeah, no, they just got to move it." So. Yeah, they got to move the freaking practice facility. And like I said, just put it in the middle of Great America.
Yeah.
Let people watch it as they go to and from their roller coaster.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere else, or uplift the electric plant and fit somewhere, which is impossible. But
Yeah.
again, topics aside, um, Tongus got hurt. He hurt his foot in this game, and he was our leading receiver.
Hmm.
Then that just leaves Luke Farrell up and Kyle Jusick to try to cover a tight end
Hmm.
spot. And besides that, we didn't have anything else going. After the opening touchdown, Sam Darnold didn't even have to touch the field, you know. He didn't even have to do much in this game with that oblique injury.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're thrilled. The Seahawks defense is incredible as
Yeah.
well. It's very, very good. Um, the one thing with Seattle, though, Zach Charbonnet out with torn ACL. That's a bummer.
That's a bummer.
But they have a lot of elements that I think that
Mhm.
they very well could still win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. Charbonnet, that's a big loss. That guy was sort of auditioning for a starting job next year, and this ACL is going to sort of damage that. Seahawks, great defensive team. Sam Darnold didn't have to do much. JSN was non-existent, but like I said, they didn't have to do much. Uh, it from that opening kickoff, return. In my head, I was just like, wah, wah, wah. It was just happening down. And
Yep.
like you said, it was just a bad game. Injuries have hurt you. Like I said, the one positive for 49er fans in the 49er nation, I truly think like you guys have to be proud of the season based off all your injuries because to make
Yeah.
it there, nobody would have even expected that. Once Warner and your defense went down, once you lost Ayuk, he never came back. All the injuries to Kittle, Pearsall, out for so
Bosa,
many seasons. Bosa, Purdy too.
Mikael
You know,
Williams, Bethune.
so with all the injuries, it's like you guys still have to hold your head up high for what you did. Nobody probably expected you guys there, um, but it's just a bad loss in the playoffs. I think Purdy's going to be questioned a lot, and you could always say he didn't have the players, uh, but that's all arguments everybody was saying on Twitter or not Twitter on YouTube, TikTok. He's done it before without anybody. where was it today when they really needed it? And like I said, that's the legacy that is gonna haunt him. And hopefully he could get over that hump because if not, it's gonna be bad. And just go to Mac Jones, trade Brock Purdy.
Wow. Oh, let's clip that and send that to Esteban, huh?
Oh,
The extra dagger in the heart is solid going to the Titans as well. Don't like that. That's a big bummer. McDaniel's going to the Chargers. Don't get to reunite with him either. Um, we already found a D coordinator, by the way. Um, Jimmy sent it to me today. We
okay,
are hiring Gus Bradley
okay.
to take over as D coordinator. Seems like a good hire.
Hmm.
Um, but the hire's going to work out if we stay healthy.
Right.
So I don't know. A big part of me is kind of bummered out a bit because Kyle Shanahan coaches a lot better when he has elements like Saleh around him.
Hmm.
And if Saleh leaves, it could be one of those years where I get back on the bandwagon of questioning Kyle Shanahan a lot and I start making segments about it. All in all, we got the brakes beaten off of us. It was humbling.
Hmm.
But hopefully next year we come back stronger and healthier because we moved the practice facility somewhere else.
Yeah. It might take a few years for you guys to move unless you guys find a open stadium, go practice at Cal, maybe, something like that.
What if you made your tinfoil hats for each of the players and they
Maybe.
wore that and that could deflect
Yeah.
some of it?
Or maybe put it like on top of the stadium as a dome, make it a dome with a tin foil so all
Yeah,
the energy goes to the tin foil hat and doesn't go to your players,
there you go.
you
Now we're
know?
talking.
Yeah.
Something to deflect. That's all we
Yeah.
need. Just a little force field,
Yeah.
you know.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I think I mentioned it last week. It's just build a practice stadium, like an indoor stadium, and then find everything you need to put onto the walls to deflect any type of electrical currents into it, so your players are safe and it's just hitting the walls.
Yeah.
Because if you could create something, and I bet you there's some sort of technology that sort of helps, stop some of that radiation, whatever it is, you know. Um, so yeah, but yeah, tough loss. But like I say, 49ers, nothing to be ashamed of because it was a season that pretty much was already lost, and you guys made it closer than teams that were fully healthy.
True. True. Go
Yeah.
Wolves.
Yeah. Next game, Patriots versus Texans. 28-16 Patriots win. I think we both picked the Patriots. That spread hit and then the over hit as well. So that was, I
Nice.
think, our best game. Um, my take from the game, because it is one I watched, because Vera, her family, Patriot fans. Uh, Very defensive game. The Texans defense, amazing defense, man.
Oh yeah.
I think leading up to the end of the third, very close game. Um, I think Patriots figured it out in the fourth, and that's how they sort of separated, and were able to win the game. Um, Texan side, CJ Stroud, horrible showing, horrible playoffs. Um, I, Bryce Young, better quarterback in my mind right now compared to CJ Stroud. I heard someone say Kyler Murray, if he was on the Texans, Texas would have won, and that's a lot. So that's saying a lot if you think Kyler Murray would have won a game in the playoffs. Um, Unfortunate for the Texans. Unfortunate for CJ Stroud. I was always a fan of him, in his first rookie year. Since then, he sort of has fallen off. Let's see if he could get his confidence back. He was on that podcast with Micah Parsons. Focus on football. Like I say, who knows if that was just too distracting and took you away from the game a little bit in your skill set. But yeah, but his podcast with Micah Parsons very entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. I this game, yeah, like you said, battle of the defenses. Big talking point was I saw people saying if Josh Allen had the Texans roster, that would be the easiest Super Bowl of all time,
Oh
and
yeah,
I believe it.
yeah.
I CJ Stroud sucks. That guy sucks. They would have been better off putting in Davis Mills, in my opinion. They should
Mhm,
have. They should have tried putting in Davis Mills like at the start of the fourth quarter
mhm,
just to mix it up a bit.
mhm.
They weren't down by very much.
No.
Like the Patriots allowed them to stay in this game for a
Mhm,
very long time. And like you said, it took till the fourth quarter for the Pats to kind of somewhat pull away and pull
mhm.
it together a bit. But I mean, this was at the end of the third quarter, this was a 5 point game.
Yeah.
They throw in Davis Mills there.
Mhm.
Just try it
Yeah.
because CJ Stroud, like minus the four interceptions, could not hit a quarterback like a wide receiver at all.
Nope.
Like 20 of 47 passing.
Yeah.
And you barely get over 200 yards. And this is reminiscent of the year altogether. We talked about it last week, John. CJ Stroud with the case of the fumbles that he had against the
Mm-hmm.
Steelers was like I said it was an issue, and he corrected none of it. Like
Yeah.
he converted the well, actually, he converted the fumbles into an interception issue.
Yeah.
Um, he just that's the way he fixed it.
Yep.
He turned the dial the wrong way. Um, I think at this point in time, with the season coming to a close, I will say I would rather have 25 other quarterbacks than CJ Stroud right now.
I
I
would
know
agree
that's
with
rough, but I think there's 25 better quarterbacks than CJ Stroud
Yeah.
right now.
I,
Give me
I, I,
Tyler Shuck over him.
oh, whoa, that's a deep pull right there.
Absolutely give me Tyler Shuck over him. Give me Jackson Dart over him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you said, Bryce Young, give me him. Give me Jacoby Brissett of
I was, I,
2025 over him.
I was about to say, how about Jameis Winston?
Uh, yeah, give me Jameis with that performance against Detroit. Absolutely. The quarterbacks I probably wouldn't take, Tua,
Mm-hmm.
Michael Penix, JJ McCarthy,
Mm-hmm.
and the mishmash that's below them, like shittier Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Outside of that, give me the 24 others,
Yeah.
25 others.
No.
Yeah, I'll stick by that. Give me
Okay.
Tyler Shook. Give me Tyler Shook. I believe.
Yeah. So we'll see because I think he's getting close to that contract year, and I think he has to perform this next year. Uh, Coaching wise, offensive coordinator, I don't think he's been released yet, but probably should be if he can't get,
Mhm.
able to make it work with this team. I know there was no Nico Collins, but still had a solid team. Woody Marks got banged up a little bit, but it came back. Did Woody Mark thing? So we'll see. That
I
defense that defense though was solid.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. It by far and away the best defense
Yeah.
of the year. Will Anderson, 3 sacks. Daniil Hunter adding two
Mhm.
more. Like
Yeah.
incredible. Their pick of Will Anderson the year that they went up and got him was
Mhm.
a
Yeah.
great decision. Um, as far as CJ Stroud goes, one other point with him is I think he's played himself out of tens of millions of dollars already. I don't think he's going to earn it back. He can have an outstanding year, but we saw what he's capable of this
Hmm.
year,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
really low.
It's that what if he goes back. He could have a great year, but what if he after that great year he goes back to these last few years?
Right.
So yeah, he played himself out of a nice big contract. He could still get something if he shows something. But he's hitting that Justin Fields sort of route where you had the potential, and it's funny because I saw Dave Portnoy, these Ohio State quarterbacks ain't performing. Justin Fields, CJ Stroud,
Yep.
Julian Sayin whenever he decides to come out, we'll see how he does. But yeah, for us, it was a stressful game. Vera was very stressed. we have Aura rings, and she got an alert that she was stressed out during the game. It was hilarious. She's like, I
That's
can't watch this
awesome.
game, but like I said, it's part of being a fan and it's part of the sport. Uh,
Yep.
but yeah, good win for the Pats. Good win for the
Niners
family.
fans, not stressed.
Yeah. Maybe stressed after like the first quarter, and after that you could have just like, let's just get drunk and let's just party.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Last game of this past week, Rams versus Bears. Rams winning at 2017. Um, I think we both took the Bears to
Hmm.
win. I think Rams covered the spread. The one thing it was under the 51 points. I think we called this one to be under. I think we
We
knew
did because of weather.
because of weather. So, we hit the under. But I'll let you start off with your takes on this game.
Yeah, I was watching with Rob at his casa. And uh I was really pulling for the Bears. I really wanted to see them advance. This team is just super fun to watch, in my opinion. I think what um Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson are kind of developing there is incredible. I think that they're off to the races
Mm,
from here on out. Bring back a similar run game. I think that Ryan Poles has done a great job drafting and adding to the O line the way that was needed.
mhm,
Luther Burden really stepped up this year. Their draft of Colston and Loveland was incredible.
mhm,
And there's a lot to turn into with that. The late game interception with Caleb Williams, I don't blame on him. And I talked about this with Rob. I blame DJ Moore 100%. He
mhm,
needs to hustle that effing route out. And I was mad. I'm not even a Bears fan. I was pissed that
mhm.
he didn't run that out. And it looked
Yeah.
lazy. And then I literally joked to Rob, I'm like, now let's check for at X the Everything app, and I typed in DJ Moore and the latest reactions, and everybody
Yep.
was saying, watch your back in Chicago, DJ Moore. And I'm like, man, they're going crazy on him.
Yeah.
They're saying, get this guy off my team. DJ Moore has had incredible touchdown catches this year. He's a great wide receiver, but that is unacceptable.
Mhm.
Like the way he pulled up on that route. I
Yeah.
don't know the justification around it. I don't know what he was thinking, but he wasn't hustling regardless.
Mhm.
So yeah, but that's an element to the game. It happens. And then Caleb Williams just doing the theatrics of that throw that he had to Cole Kmet was incredible. Like it just all looked lost. And then to see him perfectly floated over the defenders, Cole Kmet did a great job selling that the ball wasn't coming to him,
Yeah.
and for him to catch it was awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
um, LA Rams side of the ball, Stafford, veteran leader. Kyron
Mhm.
Williams had a phenomenal game. Um, the defense is good. They won over in
Mm.
Chicago in crazy low temperatures coming
Mhm.
from LA in a dome. Uh, and they got the job done. Their
Yeah.
kicker's great. They found a kicker. Good for
Mhm.
them.
Yeah. Kicker looks like a linebacker sometimes, how big
He
he is.
does. His build is, yeah, different
Yeah.
position.
He was ready for that weather. But yeah, big game. Caleb Williams, that last throw. I was watching it and I just threw my hands up because like it was crazy watching it on TV because it looked like it was pretty much over the way he was running backwards and the way he just threw it. And then all of a sudden, when the camera just pans, you just see Cole Kmet open and you're just like, what the hell just
Right.
happened? How did
Uh-huh.
that even happen? And then when you saw the replay, it's like, man, he made it work. And yeah, the last play with DJ Moore with the interception, it looked like he gave up, like, towards the end of the route. I
Uh-huh.
don't know if he just didn't think it was a call for him, but it's like everybody has to be given 110% at that moment because it's like you're in field goal range. That's all you need to win. And it's like you gave up on your team. So it's a bad look for him. Yeah, I've been hearing rumblings that he is going to be going. They're going to look at trading him, which I think they got Odunze, they got Burden, and I think if they could draft pretty well this year, they could do pretty good. So I don't
Mhm.
think they need DJ Moore. Um, Monongai did pretty well too. So Swift is another person that I think just salary cap wise might be one to be shipped out, but I think they have a great player in Monongai. There's a lot of other great players coming out this year, so a lot of future for the Bears. The one thing I did sort of see, and with the Bears, like I say, I like them. I wanted to see them win, but it sort of goes back to like a take with the or not the Patriots, the Chiefs that we had for last year. They won 6 to 7 games by one score game last minute. That's what the Bears
Hmm.
did this year. I think they won like 7 games by a touchdown field goal in the final seconds, to win. And if it would have gone the opposite way, they would, who knows what we would be talking about them, we might be talking about the GM getting fired, Ben Johnson not being a great coach, Caleb Williams, not that guy. So, it sort of could have gone that other narrative. So I really hope that they could continue on this positive route this next year. Because when the Bears play well, and like I said, especially Caleb Williams, it's great for football. I think we all enjoyed it. I think it was probably was one of the most watched games this past weekend. Um, and yeah, like I say, unfortunate for them, but great game. Rams did what they had to do. I heard they were wearing scuba. Some players were wearing some like scuba suits under their uniforms to keep them warm because it keeps that
Yeah,
body heat in. So, uh, kudos to them.
I don't
They did
know.
what they got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, scuba suits are great. Did you see the cayenne pepper thing? They were
Yeah,
putting
put
cayenne pepper in their
in their
socks.
socks. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
it works. Um, didn't know.
That just sounds spicy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I next time I'm in the snow, if I have some
Yeah,
cayenne pepper around,
yeah,
maybe I'll give
man.
it a go.
Yeah, give it a shot. Let's see if anybody's
Yeah,
tried it. Let us know if it's myth or reality, if it's fact.
absolutely. No,
Yeah.
it very valid. Quick question, follow up.
Mhm.
When the Bears scored with that commit touchdown, do you think Ben Johnson should have went for two?
No, because I think weather-wise, I think their defense has was playing well towards the end of the game that they had confidence to stop the team, and they did.
Mhm.
I think they sh it was a smart choice because I think they struggled at times to get those short yardage, and it was you needed the big cojones. And I think the way playoff football is now, where you still get a chance, it's a better opportunity. Because, like I say, I think they won. They elected to kick first and not receive because that's where they would have gone for two if Rams would have scored a touchdown and an extra point. If they would have scored the touchdown, they would have had to go for two because after that, it's next field goal wins. So it's sort of you take that chance.
Yeah,
So I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was the best choice because that defense was showing up towards the end of the game. And weather-wise, they know how to handle it. Rams are new to that.
absolutely. No, I agree with you. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone for two. I think taking your points there is a smart thing. And those short yardage situations, I think the Rams had that on lock. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but that was the games this past week. So we're in conference championship week. Last week before the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Um We'll do the same that we did last week. We'll go over the games. We'll give the odds from BetMGM and then sort of just our takes from it. But the first game, Sunday, noon game here, Pacific Standard Time, Patriots versus Broncos. So this is in Denver. Patriots are favored at -5, and the over/under is set at 42. Um, my take for this game, I I have the Patriots winning it. I think they'll win it. I think it'll be a challenge the first half, but after that, they'll find a way to get through this Denver defense. Um, and I also think it will be another defensive battle for them. I don't think it'll go over 42. Broncos playing with a backup. I hear a lot of rumblings that they're very confident in their quarterback right now. They feel good with him. Sean Payton that's his guy. But I don't think it'll be enough. It's pressure situation. Vrabel, I think is going to get this team set. I don't think they're underlooking this team at all. I think they're looking at it as if it's like Bo Nix and they got to battle till the end. Um, but like I say, I think it'll be a defensive battle first half, but then Patriots will do what they've done the last 2 weeks and pull away in the second half and win this by more than five, but I don't think it'll go over 42 points.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Going Pats, continuing on with the take, don't think it'll go over 42.
Mm,
I think that I was looking up Denver weather. It looks like it's going to be probably in the low 30s
mhm,
to it could range all the way down to 12. The low for the day is 12.
mm.
So pretty big difference. Playing in those elements. A lot of people are bringing up as well New England's history with backup quarterbacks and
Oh
the Eagles with Nick
yeah.
Foles back in the day and totally different team. You can't
Yeah.
correlate the two. I think that the Pats will win by at least a touchdown, to be honest. I don't think Stidham has it in him to
Hmm.
do that kind of rhymed. Has it in him to do much. And they'll solely rely on the Broncos defense to kind of keep that score low. And, hence under 42. But I think that, it could be something like again, like 21-10 game, something like that. I don't think Denver has it in them to put up a lot of points.
Yeah.
Other different game if Knicks plays.
Mhm.
But I think the Pats have an amazing shot at making the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I think they do. I think Denver has to rely on running in the first quarter, sort of see if they can get that started, give some time to sit him. But yeah, the Pats, I think they'll figure it out. I think the defenses have faced have been so tough that they're ready for this one. Like I say,
Mhm.
the way they played against Houston, the offensive line got beat up a bit. They're gonna learn how to deal with this defensive line, and like I said, the cornerbacks I think for the Texans are just as good as Denver. So Drake May's gonna know how to sort of get how to pass, set up the game plan, and like I say, I think the game that they had against the Texans prepped them so well for this game for that offensive side. And defensively, they just they just got to get to the quarterback. I think if they put the pressure, they'll they'll run them over. So it looks like an easy game, but I also I have heard the rumblings of them going against backup quarterbacks hasn't gone well. Let's hope it's a new generation, a new thing. Family's going to be really stressed. I think they're already stressing out about it. But like I say, I think if I was a Patriot fan, I'd be I'd feel really good going into this game knowing Bo Nix isn't playing. It's unfortunate because it takes away from the game, but as a fan, for the next game to be the Super Bowl, it's a nice platter.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really is. Team of Destiny
Mm.
gonna make it there. It's a hell of a turnaround from what
Yeah,
last year was even.
yeah,
So yeah, for them to make a Super Bowl is incredible. Hell of a
yeah,
run.
yeah. Hell of a run. Then the Sunday night or Sunday afternoon game, 3:30, Rams versus Seahawks. Seahawks are opening up as of today at minus 2.5 favorites. Over under set at 47 and a half. This is going to be the big game of the week. Um, High scoring. I'm gonna go with what I've gone with. I think before the playoffs started, Rams going to the Super Bowl. I think they'll win this. Seahawks, like I say, they didn't really get challenged last week offensively, and then defense, like I said, the defense is gonna have to keep them in. But I also think the Rams defense is really good. They've learned how to stop the run pretty well, and like I say, now with just one running back, Kenneth Walker, it's going to be one dimensional in throwing. If they could just find ways to contain JSN, I think they'll take it. And Puka's going to have a big game. Stafford's going to have a big game. But I have the Rams, and I have it going over.
Yeah. I agree. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I think it's gonna be Rams. I think it's gonna be over. I think it's gonna be a revenge game that we saw
Hmm.
just a few weeks ago with both of these teams going up in Seattle. The elements that game were crazy, but they still had an incredibly high scoring game.
Hmm.
Puka went off for an outstanding performance
Hmm.
that game as well. And I think a lot of it's going to come down to Darnold. I don't think Darnold can keep up with what Stafford can do.
Hmm.
He kind of had this late game miracle, and I don't think he can rely on that, especially adding an oblique injury,
Hmm.
which seems severe enough to garner a lot of news.
Yeah.
Um, and the loss of Charbonnet, you're not mixing in the run game as much. You're
Hmm.
relying a lot on Kenneth Walker. And Kenneth Walker, don't get me wrong, he can have some phenomenal games, but he can also have some absolute duds.
Yeah.
And if it's a one-trick pony, I think the Rams will be prepped for Kenneth Walker and be able to handle him a bit more. Seattle's defense, absolutely incredible.
Hmm.
I see Stafford throwing one or two picks, to be honest, but I think that Rams are a healthier team,
Hmm.
and I think the Rams win this
Yeah.
by less than a touchdown, I'd say, but
Yeah.
close to it.
Yeah. I think it'll be a close game, less than a touchdown, maybe a field goal game,
Mhm.
and it could be Seahawks trying to march down the field and Darnold just doesn't have and throws a pick just the way Caleb Williams did. So, like I
Yep,
say, Darnold needs to be prime Darnold for them to win. Um, and that defense needs to just be able to stop Matthew Stafford. But I don't know if they'll be able to the way Matt Stafford has been playing in the playoffs. But Stafford also could have his dud games, and let's just hope it isn't that type of game for him.
absolutely. Yeah, going to be a great game though.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
matchup was Most recent matchup was phenomenal.
Yeah, great game. But yeah, that's the two games this week. Winners of each game trip to the Super Bowl in San Francisco.
Mhm.
How do you feel knowing either the 40 or the Seahawks or the Rams could win a Super Bowl in your stadium? I see that a lot.
Yeah, no, that's kind of brutal. I hope it's the Rams more than the Seahawks. I will be rooting Rams just with the history of us with the Seahawks. I
Hmm.
just can't find myself rooting for them. Um, I have family from Seattle, so good for them if they do, but sorry, rivals are rivals. I especially the way the Seattle Seahawks left half-used cigars in the locker room, trying to make a
Hmm.
statement like, "Oh, we'll be back to finish these." I hope they don't get to complete that story. That's
Yeah,
some stupid
yeah.
stuff. But if we
I
did it, then I'd
yeah.
be okay with it. But
Yeah, I would have boxed them all up, and then once they lose, or if they lose, just send it back to them. Here you go. We don't need these.
yeah, enjoy these in Cancun instead.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, no, yeah, I either one. I mean, but I don't know the way things are shaping up. I agree with you. I think Rams will make it through. Pats, very real possibility.
mhm.
It's going to be it would make for a great game,
It would
honestly.
make for a great game. Yeah, that'll be a good game. So, but that's that. A little bit of NFL news. So we touched on a few things, but the coaching carousel, Sean McDermott fired for the Bills. I don't think we talked about it, but Mike Tomlin stepping down from Pittsburgh.
Yep,
Him stepping down, not being fired. Big news, I think, because rumor has it if you want to sign Mike Tomlin, you got to trade for him. I don't think you could just sign him because he stepped down. He wasn't fired. So,
I see.
um, we'll see what he does. Rumor has it he's going to go into broadcasting for a year, take a little break, and maybe make a return after this. John Harbaugh signing for the Giants.
Mhm.
I think I called it with you. I don't think I said it here, but I think I texted you that John Harbaugh. I see him going to the New York Giants.
Yeah,
Um,
I remember that.
so he's there. I think it's a great fit for that team. Uh, Winning coach, so could change a lot there. Maybe just GM if it doesn't work out this year. Trades don't go well. Make that change, and Jordan Harbaugh could bring some great to New York.
Mhm.
Uh, Kevin Stefanski in Atlanta. Um, I saw the comments made by Baker Mayfield today.
Mhm.
Uh,
I just saw this
will
article.
will be very interesting to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously Baker's not a real not a real fan of
Yeah.
his. Now becoming an interdivision rival.
Yep.
Can't wait to see you coach twice a year is what he said, right?
Yep.
Um, failed is quite a, let's see. What did somebody say?
Because I think there was an article saying that like he was dealt with a lot of failed quarterbacks. It listed Deshaun Watson,
Yep.
Baker Mayfield, and I think it said like 11 others that he had to go through. And that's where Baker sort of
Yeah.
responded.
Yeah, Baker says in relation to Baker Mayfield and Sean Watson failed. Failed is quite a reach, pal. Still waiting on a call slash text from him after I got shipped off like a piece of garbage. Can't wait to see
Yeah.
you twice a year, coach. Love it.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
football's all about. Rivals.
Yeah, it'll be good. So that's some of the news. Mike McDaniels, this is as of today, Chargers offensive coordinator. I heard a lot of rumors that he wasn't going to take a head coaching, that he was going to take an OC job and sort of wait for a better head coaching position.
Hmm.
But like I say, I think we talked about it last week. The Ravens were the top team to sort of sign for. I think Bills are the top team now. That's the one team you want to sort of inherit with Josh Allen. So we'll
Hmm.
see who those teams get. Like I said, the Steelers gonna have to. That's a big dynasty, big shoes to step in because three coaches in the last like 20 plus years total for that franchise. So kudos to them. And then you talked about it, Mike Sala or Robert Sala.
Robert Sala. Hmm.
Robert Sala, Tennessee. Would have wished it was the Ravens. I think I kept on saying it to you, so somewhat to just push your buttons, but at the same time, it would have been a great hire for us. But Tennessee, big surprise for me with what was available. Um, but he sees something in Tennessee that he probably likes.
Yeah, I guess I don't like it from Robert Saleh's decision.
Yeah.
I think he's literally jumping back into a very similar position that he was with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And we all saw that how that ended. I guess he's signing a 5-year deal with them. The Titans are arguably just as bad run franchise as the Jets are. You
Yeah.
know, they have a good quarterback, I think, with Cam Ward. But I mean, Justin Simmons on defense,
Mm-hmm.
is that about it?
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole lot else going on there. I guess a new stadium, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But as far as everything else, like, man, like, I don't know if Saul is going to be able to coach his way out of that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And then does he, I just feel like he's better fit as a coordinator right now. Unless he
Yeah.
jumps into a spot like the Bills or the Ravens, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
those are much better fit for him.
Yeah.
Surprised he ended up with the Titans.
Yeah. Yeah, or even the Steelers. Like I said, that's a solid
Yeah,
defense. That's a
Steelers.
defense he could build so much and just find that great OC. But yeah, like I said, t Titans a big surprise for me, but I felt like he was going to be a head coach, so we'll see. I'm still pulling for to see what we do. Um, but
Anybody
yeah,
out there you'd want to see hired
um,
at this point?
I think I just sort of want to see McDermott would have been. I think I would like him, but I'm curious. There's a lot of rumors with Lamar Jackson possibly getting traded.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
honestly, my hot take. I'll say this: I doubt it's gonna happen. But I've seen a few of these rumors, and I would want to see it. Lamar Jackson to the Raiders, and we get Mendoza.
Oh,
We
wow.
take that number one
Imagine.
pick.
Wow. Imagine that.
Yeah, because I think Lamar wants to change. I think it wasn't just the coaching. I think it's just, everybody in the front office there in Baltimore. And I think he just wants a fresh start. And the Raiders are a team that needs a quarterback, depending. They haven't hired anybody yet, right?
Raiders? No.
Yeah, yeah. So if that they could probably be waiting to see if they make this happen. And like I say, I truly think he probably could do a lot better with the Raiders than Mendoza can. I think Mendoza goes to the Raiders. It's going to be a tough challenge for him. Um, and I think he could do better in Baltimore. So
I like that. I like that take a lot.
big hot take.
Um,
I doubt it will happen. But like I said, Lamar Jackson worth a number one pick with a few two of with a two or three. I think you get it done because, like I say, Lamar Jackson, his window is now, and that's something the Raiders need. Do you want to
mhm.
work on developing a player with Max Crosby sort of getting frustrated there? I think you got to go for swing for the fences, and I think Lamar Jackson might be that for them.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I wonder if they ended up doing a deal like that, if it would change the coaching search a bit
They could.
with them. Um, yeah, no, interesting. Let's see if it happens. That'd
Yeah.
be a crazy offseason trade.
Yeah.
Are you also seeing the rumors with Bill Belichick and the Bills?
I've heard.
I wonder. Get him
I,
back over there.
I I don't know if he will. I think he comes with a lot of baggage. I think you need to see how he does the next year or two before he makes that jump back to the NFL.
I agree. Uh, I think we should ask Jordan if he's allowed to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of her. She'll be like the new GM for the team. So it'll be a big change, but like I say, the way Belichick ended in the NFL, he didn't do that well with the Patriots. He gave Mayo a bad team, and it had to be Vrabel that came in and sort of just retooled and re just changed the Patriot franchise to be back to greatness. And like I say,
Yep.
I'm rooting for Patriots just because of family, but I know a lot of people are looking at that and they just don't want to see it because it's like I thought we were done with this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, quickest rebuild of all time.
yeah, it's insane. So we'll see, but that's NFL talk.